So, a lot of the time when I'm in bed or asleep or whatever, I'll get a really good idea for a video. So when I wake up then in the middle of the night, I'll turn over, write down the idea in my notes app, and then go back to sleep. So when I wake up the next morning, I'll have a really good idea ready to go for the next video. And there are many times when this happens. This was not one of those times. What the fuck is the Rob Rumble? The Rob Rumble. What the what the fuck does this even mean? Why did 4 in the morning me think that this was such a good idea? I was so determined to figure out what I meant by this that I put it on Twitter, and shout out to anyone who tried to help me with this. Paul suggested that it's a Royal Rumble, but with 30 Rob Conways. Definitely not a bad idea. Certainly, it'd rake in the views. I know there's a lot of Rob Conway fans out there, but I don't think that's what I was going for at 4 in the morning, so it might not be that one. Chris suggested that it was actually a Royal Rumble with 30 Bobby Lashleys, one of my favourite wrestlers in the world, and that's actually not a joke, so maybe that's what I was thinking. Maybe. Declan suggests that it's a new match where I rob the Royal Rumble. Possibly. Paddy suggests that it's a Royal Rumble exclusively for Robs and Roberts, etc. And this is the suggestion that I've decided to go with. There have been many Robs over the years. Robs, Roberts, Robbies, Bobbies, Bobs. I'm starting to sound like one of those how to seduce comments. Very sexy Bobs and all that. But you know what? We will be getting our bobbies out in this video, because when it all comes down to this, right? We're making history. There have been many Royal Rumbles over the years. However, there has never been a Rob Rumble to determine the best Rob. So tonight we answer that question that wrestling fans have been asking for years. Who is the king of the Robs? I'm actually really happy with the venue so far. We managed to get the WrestleMania 17 stage and put it into an American high school PE hall, so that's pretty cool. Entrant number 1, Robert Stone. Now, this man could be considered a favourite. He's got experience as a Robert, a Rob, and a Robbie, so obviously nobody wants the number 1 spot, but if there is somebody in the Battle of the Robs to really make the most of that number 1 spot, it could very well be him. Entrant number 2, Robert Rood. This man has experience as a Robert and a Bobby in multiple promotions, including Impact, and of course the biggest one, as you can see in front of you, Global Force Wrestling. You know, it was in Global Force Wrestling where he represented himself as a Bobby and beat not Killer Cross, but Kevin. Just regular old Kevin. It's weird because I don't know if the match ever actually aired anywhere, but here is some footage of the match that I actually managed to find.
Kevin, watch the light, dude.
And it's underway, the first ever Rob Rumble, and oh, Bobby Roode over the top, but he blocks it. Okay, he's back in. That could have been a surprise elimination early on. Who's going to be next? It's Bob Holly, better known to many as Hardcore Holly, but for some reason, when I typed in the word hardcore, it wouldn't let me use it. I don't really understand why. I don't understand what's wrong with that word. Will a temporary alliance be formed between Bob Holly and Bobby Roode? No, Hardcore Holly goes straight up to the top to celebrate. You know, not a bad idea, going up to the top turnbuckle to celebrate in a match where you have to be knocked over the top rope to be eliminated. Number 4, Rob Gronkowski. Obviously, by what he's wearing, he's best known for being friends with Mojo Rawley. But don't let his lack of in-ring experience fool you. This man is just as much a Rob as anyone else, so it'll be interesting to see how he fits in here tonight. Already, he has Bobby Roode up on his shoulders, and he just throws him back on the canvas. The name most people were waiting for, Rob Van Dam. Of course, best known for having the best t-shirt in professional wrestling, RDV. Oh, and Bob Holly's eliminated. Bob Holly gets eliminated by Rob Gronkowski. And fun fact, right, did you know that Rob Gronkowski is also an American footballer? There you go. And Bobby Roode is dropped on his neck by Rob Van Dam. Bobby Fish enters the fray, and he's got a lot on the line, because this is the thing about the Rob Rumble and the controversy surrounding it. A lot of people feel as though the Rob Rumble belongs to Robs, Roberts, and that Bobbies don't actually have a position in the match whatsoever. He is representing the Bobbies. He's representing the legitimacy of Bobbies in the Rob family. And speaking of Bobbies and representing the Bobby family, another favourite, it's Bobby Lashley. Will we see some sort of Bobby alliance form in the Rob Rumble? Again, that's one of the key questions coming into this match. And Bobby Lashley eliminates the the Gronk? Is that what you say? The Gronkowski. I feel like one of those, how do you do, fellow kids? I swear, I'm a huge NFL fan. I love all the touchdowns. Big Rob Terry. Trust me, if there was ever anybody who was going to hate a British invasion, it's going to be me, for obvious reasons, right? But Rob Terry is a fucking beast. Because like most people, I believe there isn't enough unprotected chair shots in professional wrestling. And for that reason, you have to look at Rob Terry as kind of a martyr to the cause. Turns in. I still have no idea why he did that, but yeah, I'm rooting for Rob Terry right now. And already he's got a free elimination on Robert Stone, but he pulls him back into the ring for some reason. And in comes Rob Conway. Rob Conway, who was meant to main event my first ever wrestling show that I ever attended as a 9-year-old, but he ended up pulling out of the show, and I cried for 7 months. Robert Stone has been eliminated, and out comes Robbie Eagles. Will Robbie Eagles fly his way to victory? Haha. Did you know Osprey is actually a bird? I mean, this is the dream for all wrestling fans, isn't it? You got Bobby Lashley and Rob Terry going at it in a corner. I mean, what more could a wrestling fan want? And out comes Robbie Brookside. He may not have been a WWE World Champion. He may not have been a Royal Rumble winner in the past, or Mr. Money in the Bank, or a WrestleMania main eventer. But now, after all these years, perhaps this is where Robbie Brookside finally gets the credit he deserves at the top of the wrestling mountain. He's been eliminated. Bob the Builder, our next entrant. Well, he was meant to be our next entrant, but he tested positive for COVID, so we've had to bring in an actor instead and just hope that nobody notices the difference. Robbie Eagles has Rob Conway up and over. He's out of the match. Our next entrant is Bob Backlund, and there are actually quite a lot of decent cause for Bob Backlund on WWE 2K20, but I didn't have any of the unlockables, so we've had to go with this one instead. And no offense if the person making this happens to be watching the video, but this is shite. It's one of the shittest cause I've ever seen. Who? What were you going for with this one? Like, sorry. In fairness to Backlund, he's going straight after Rob Terry, absolutely fearless. And out comes our next entrant, Robert Gibson. Oh man, you know me. I love the NWA, Hardy Race, Bruno Sammartino, all the old school NWA. Can't beat it. And RDV is eliminated. That's quite a big one. And Rob Terry is out of there. I should not have talked shit about Bob Backlund. That was a great elimination from him. And out comes Bayern Munich and Poland striker Robert Lewandowski, or should I say Robert Lewandowski.
Yeah, we in Bayern, we have Robert Lewandowski. You know, Robert Lewandowski.
And Robert Gibson has been eliminated. And out comes Sergeant Slaughter. And I know you may be thinking, Sergeant Slaughter, he's not a Rob, a Robbie, a Robert, a Bobby, a Bob. Well, that is where you're wrong. Because if you look at Cage Match, it says here that Sergeant Slaughter is also known as Bob Slaughter. So he's welcome into the match. And Bob Backlund immediately gets eliminated, as does Bobby Fish. And then Bobby Lashley. What the fuck is happening? And then Lewandowski has been eliminated. Sergeant Slaughter is just wiping out Bob Slaughter, excuse me. And out comes our next entrant, Robbie X. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, lads. I've heard of Robbie X because apparently he's a good wrestler in Europe and stuff. I've no idea what he looks like. When I edit this video, I'll put an image on screen of what he looks like so we both know when we're watching it back. But as I record this right now, I don't have time to Google. I couldn't really be arsed. So I just made a call where I guessed what he looked like. And I'm going to assume I got it right. But the makeup artist didn't put the fucking X on his head, so he's not Robbie X, he's just Robbie. It'll be interesting to see what Robbie X's strategy is going to be here. Stand in the corner awkwardly, like me at every social gathering, a good strategy, I respect it. Bobby Eaton. Here we fucking go. You know, again, big old school NWA fan, Hardy Race, Bruno Sammartino, you know, you can't beat it. I really love all that stuff. And big Bobby Slaughter has eliminated Robbie Eagles. And out comes the most dominant Scottish wrestler in WWE history, Robbie McAllister, a tag team specialist from the golden era of WWE 2006-2007 when I became a fan, the only wrestler with the balls to cross enemy lines into the impact zone. I am very excited to see how Robbie McAllister deals with being the second last entrant in the match. And now we wait for the countdown, the final person, the final entrant in the Royal Rumble. Who is it gonna be? It's Bob Ross. Bob Ross is entrant number 20 in the first ever Royal Rumble. Can Bob Ross paint a picture of destruction. Did you know Osprey is actually a bird? And Bob the Builder and Bob Slaughter both eliminated at the same time. We are now down to our final 4, and I'm waiting for that big dramatic... Oh no! Robbie McAllister has been eliminated by Robbie X, so we're now down to our final 3. Robbie X, Bobby Eaton, Bob Ross. One of these men is going to walk out, the king of the Robs. And Robbie X throws Bobby Eaton against the ropes, and he's gone over somehow, and he's eliminated. Okay. Bob Ross from behind. Oh no, he's fucked it. Okay, he's punched in the air. He's still in this. You know, it's not over for Bob Ross. It's 1v1. We're down to the final 2. Exciting times lie ahead. He's thrown against the ropes. He also goes over the ropes, and he's punched once, but he's still in this. He's punched twice, but he's still in this, and he's out. And Robbie X is the king of the Robs, apparently, and he doesn't have an X on his head, so it's... I mean, it really could be anyone. I didn't edit the call any further beyond that point. Bit of a anticlimactic ending, I'm not going to lie. Did you know Osprey is actually a bird?